Check-In. My name is DC, RITMO, CULTURA. I got Daniela Brooker in the building, straight from London.
Yeah, as you can tell.
Love the accent. Every time I talk to somebody from out there, I'm like, yo, I want to do the accent. And I'm like, nah,
Do
I don't
it.
want, like, nah.
Do it.
From London. Am I saying it right?
That's not that bad. Keep talking. You're going to practice.
I got to practice that, a little bit.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, you have an interesting story. You have Venezuelan roots, and you speak Spanish and you speak English. You're bilingual, and you're an artist. So in these interviews, I like to dive in a little bit and into the artistry and where it all started with you. So take me back to that time where that spark, that idea, whatever happened that made you think and made you say, hey, it's time for me to become this artist that I am now.
Do you know what? I've always sung from a young age. I don't even remember when the first time I sung was, but the first time I went to a recording studio was by chance through someone I knew. Was invited to go hang out at a studio when I was 13 years old. And so I went and met these producers, and I was always like, oh, let me sing. Can I do backing vocals for whoever? And can I write for everyone? And that's how it kind of started, as a bit of a hobby. And then, I'm lucky that I grew up in a city that is just full of recording studios and music, and it's just everywhere around me. So I quickly kind of got into songwriting first of all, as well as performing live, and then it just spiraled. I never had one big opportunity. It was just kind of something I had always done from such a young age. And then I first started releasing my music when I was around 16. I did a lot of stuff in the UK, a lot of R&B music. That's my background, is singing R&B. And then fast forward, it was only a couple of years ago that I had the opportunity to go to Miami and kind of start making music in Spanish, which I was a bit because for a few years I had been looking for my sound and what was what was my thing, what did I want to say in my music, and it wasn't until I explored singing in Spanish that I fell in love with my project and everything, and then kind of launching as a Latin artist.
So you started singing in English first, and then when you came to Miami, that's when you flipped the switch and you were like, I can sing in Spanish too.
Yeah, I'd never sung I had sung obviously bits in Spanish, but I'd never written or recorded my own music in Spanish up until 2 years ago.
Wow. Was that a challenge for you? Making that change, was that challenging for you in the artistry way or no?
Initially I was nervous because obviously it doesn't come as naturally to me. I speak fluently, but it does not come naturally to me like English. And so, it was a bit nerve-wracking, but to be fair, I feel I enjoy it more because it is a bit more difficult for me. I put more energy and effort into it, and it's more exciting what comes out because my style is so kind of more Anglo sounding, I guess. But then singing in Spanish, I think it gives it a different flavor.
When you go into making music, do you start writing in Spanish or do you start thinking in English and then translate it in Spanish?
Do you know what? I feel if I think, I have to consciously think in Spanish to do it, because naturally I'll think in English, but then my melodies they won't sound right on a Latin kind of track and song. So it's kind of a 50-50.
Okay. That's creative. Yeah. I like that.
It's confusing at times.
Is it for you?
Sometimes. Yeah.
That's cool. Walk me through a studio session with Daniela Brooker. Do you start with the melody? Do you start writing first? Do you need the beat first? What is the vibe that you need in order to create a song?
It depends on what kind of song. Normally I have a subject I want to write about. It's today I want to write about this. And I often will have ideas before I go into the studio anyway, lyrics. And then at the studio with whatever producer I'm working with, or if I'm co-writing with someone, I'll kind of tell them the idea, and then we start putting a beat together that fits that vibe, that kind of feeling. And then from there we write the melodies. So yeah, I guess lyrics, beat, then melodies. That's the typical order, but then I sometimes you mix it up. It depends, right?
Yeah. So do you need the lights dim? What do you what's the vibe? Need some candles? What's the studio vibe in there?
Do you know, I never have candles. I feel I've never done that. No, but I definitely like a good atmosphere. It's important to have that, and the good mood and the right people. For me, it's more about who I'm with more than the actual atmosphere. But obviously being in a great studio and dark lighting, I like to work normally in the evening more than the daytime. But yeah, it's about the people you work with. That sets the tone.
Definitely. That does set the tone. talk to me about the music scene in London right now. What is it like, especially for Latin music and overall just music? What's the scene like right now?
I mean, it's always amazing here. Do you know what I mean? It's like the hub of a lot of kind of genres of music. But I mean,
Yeah.
for Latin music, there's not a big community here, if I'm honest. And to be honest, I don't write with as many people here that doing the Latin sound. I do often work with a lot of guys that work with Afrobeat music and stuff like
Right.
that, because it can translate pretty cool. And I feel like when I'm here, I embrace that sound because it's something different than what I get when I'm in Miami working with, everyone that kind of lives and breathes the genre. So,
Yeah.
but London's amazing. I mean, there's so much talent here.
God, yeah, that's amazing. I mean, yeah, and it is a hub of music. I mean, you see Drake out there doing his thing, and
Yeah.
taking the slang, taking the tones, and doing that stuff. So yeah, I mean, London.
Yeah.
I've never been, so that's a goal for mine when things
You
open up.
gotta come. You gotta come.
Yeah, the closest I've been to was France, so that's the closest I've been to Paris.
Oh, okay, but that's
Yes.
very different. The style and like the feel of France compared to England is completely different.
No, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So growing up, you grew up in London, right? And
Yeah.
you've been to Sweden. So what was the vibe at home? Like, what were your influences? What was playing at home?
So, I mean, my mum is Venezuelan and my dad is English, and I grew up here. So obviously, like, my house was a Latin house. Like, my mum never spoke to me in English. There was always, like, my mum doesn't listen to anything in English, basically. So the soundtrack to my life growing up was a lot of like classic kind of Latin music, like a lot of salsa, merengue, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then one of my cousins from Venezuela ended up moving in with us a few years ago. So he like kind of came and was the one who really introduced me to kind of more like reggaeton music. And so I listened to everything Latin. And then on top of that, obviously, just all the stuff that I hear in London all the time, which is like all English music. So
Yeah.
my ear has just been like congested with like everything possible.
Right,
So
no,
I think
for
it's
sure.
important to, all different genres.
When you decided to make Spanish music, did you get like a little backlash from like your side in London? Like, oh, what are you doing? Like, why are you switching your sound? Did you get any of that?
Do you know what? No, actually, I didn't, because
Okay.
if I'm being totally honest, I had done some stuff when I was much younger here, and it did well and stuff. And then I kind of went through a period where I didn't know what I was really doing, and it kind of like it never really connected. So everyone kind of knew that I was doing my thing. I was traveling a lot back and forth to the States because I just always kept getting opportunities out there. And so when I kind of decided to start doing a lot of stuff in Spanish, everyone was like, we told you should have done this for ages. And I was like, yeah, it's easy to say that, but when you live here and there's not all the producers and writers that, do it properly, it's always like people trying to do it and it's not the same. I just wasn't interested. So it was only until I got the opportunity a couple of years ago. So everyone's been cool with it, to be fair.
Wow, that's interesting. Yeah, for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a little obstacle that you had to go through because
Yeah.
the scene's not over there, so you really had to like come out here and get the vibe.
Yeah, I mean, when it's not quarantine, I normally go to Miami like every month or every 6 weeks. So I'm there all the time.
Just across the pond, just nothing.
Just a quick flight.
Just a quick flight over the
That's
pond.
pretty far.
Amazing. Let's talk about your new single. I mean, the latest single, Taboo.
Yeah.
Tell me about the song. What does it mean, and everything about the song.
So Taboo is it's kind of like a really chilled track that you're supposed to like. The reason I wanted to make this song for like when you're driving late at night. That's what like I had envisaged the kind of feel of this song. It's a song about losing all your taboos with someone that you're into, and like kind of not having, not being shy, and kind of exploring your sexuality with that person. And it's a sexy song, so that's what it's about.
Yeah, exciting. Do you have any more new music coming out?
Yeah, so actually we're going to be putting out a remix of Taboo, which I can't say like who's on it, but we've got someone cool joining us on the song, which I'm really excited about. So that's coming out next, and then I've got another song I'm going to be putting out after that. So I'm lucky that I made quite a lot of music before quarantine, so I'm kind of good.
Yeah, that's interesting to say, because for you, an artist that needs the vibe of like being in Miami and like being around like people that are part of the culture, a lot of artists right now, they're like, yo, I'm more creative. So basically you have a little obstacle. Are you being creative still? Like, is it tough for you right now because it's quarantine?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still being creative. I mean, even the video for Taboo, I filmed at home during quarantine.
Hey.
So, do you know what I mean? So I've still been doing my thing, and I've been writing a lot on Zoom, which is like crazy. But the first few times I was like, that's a bit of a weird experience. But then I weirdly got into it, and I've been doing it kind of quite often. So I've been still making new music, actually. So I've been lucky that I haven't really stopped.
That's amazing that we have to adapt. So you have that adaptation trait. You got to adapt to the times and
Yeah, and I'm like recording
right.
myself, which it just takes all a bit longer than it normally would.
So you know your ins and outs in the on the studio software and everything, that all that.
Yeah. I record all my stuff in Logic. Like I think it's important to like know as much as possible as an artist, not just be able to sing and do the artist thing. I'm like really into production and stuff like that as well.
Definitely. How do you feel on how the Latin culture and Latin music has been intaken from around the world? Like, what's that feeling for you?
I love it. I mean, I think that's the thing that all Latin people feel like when you're out and, when I'm with my English friends and there's a Latin song, I don't know, you like claim it all. It's like so exciting. But I think it's amazing. I feel like they're finally getting kind of heard, which, I mean, the Latin like world is so big, isn't it? And there's so many different genres. I think it's cool that it's finally getting acknowledgement everywhere. And every time I go to a club here, there's always one or two songs playing in Spanish. So that's really cool.
All right. That's dope.
Yeah.
What is the playlist like for Daniela Brooker? Like, what is it? What is it? Like, what are the songs that are on your playlist right now?
Do you know what? It's always a mixture of like, I'm really into kind of like slow, like the kind of like sexy reggaeton. I'm really into that.
Okay.
Kind of the more chilled tracks, and then that's mixed with a lot of R&B, kind of like a lot of alternative R&B that's out at the moment. And then I listen to a lot of house music as well. Like I love house music. So it's normally like those three genres are like on all my playlists. Yeah.
We have something in common because I like the chill, like reggaeton stuff. Like I like the perreo and the hype stuff too.
Yeah.
También me gusta like to slow it down, and I like what like
Yeah.
Dalex is doing, and like Paloma
Yeah.
Mami, and like them cats like that, like Fade, they're like chilling it down.
Yeah, I
Making
love that.
little melodic, little romantic.
Yeah, sexy music for when you're on a date. That's the music I like to listen to be honest. I mean, I like the kind of real hype stuff when I'm out. You know what I mean? If I'm in a club. But for when I'm listening to my stuff on a playlist, yeah, it's definitely like what you just said.
Definitely. Who are some artists on your list that you would like to collaborate with?
I don't know. Do you know, every time someone asks me, I'm always like, I don't know. It always changes depending on like who I've been listening to. But I've got a new song that I've been really into at the moment. Like, the producers Los Hitmen.
Yeah.
So I think they're really cool. I'd love to like work with them. I think they're super talented. I love their sound. I like you just said, Paloma Mami. I think she's super talented, and I love collaborating with other women. I think that's always so much fun. I mean, I'm obsessed with Anderson .Paak, which is a complete different kind of thing, but he's like I like listen to him like every day. I like a lot of like soulful stuff like that. But I don't know, like so many. I'll give you a list of 20 people if you want.
That's amazing. Anderson .Paak. That mean you got a good ear. You got a good taste in music. I love Anderson .Paak too.
I love him. I just think everything he does is like amazing. Like he doesn't put anything bad out ever.
Definitely. So let's fast forward to the future now. Like let's take it up a notch. Fast forward. Okay. Hop on this ship, and when it's all said and done for you, when it's like hey, I did my thing, I got my rewards, I got what I wanted from this music stuff. What is the legacy you want to leave behind?
Do you know what? I really just want to make music that connects, not music that's for a moment. I'm really I really take singing really seriously. I know sometimes when we're in the music industry, it's about like the song and getting the hit song that's commercial and all that, and the image and that. But for me, it's really about a voice and having that respect as a singer. So I guess just that, like being acknowledged for my voice and making music that's true. And I'm always about like, making music for females and what females want to hear. Yeah. So that really, yeah.
Definitely. It's a great time for females too, but I feel like, especially in reggaeton and urbano, the female representation wasn't there as much. There was a few artists, they had Evie Queen and whatnot, but now it's like they're being more accepted of what they say. I feel like the glass ceiling has been broken and the representation is there. So I feel like it's a great time for female artists to come out like in Latin music and reggaeton.
Definitely.
And you're in that class too, since you want to create music like that. And One thing that you said right now too is that you don't like to just put out music and it has to be good. Are you hard on yourself when you create songs? You're like, that doesn't sound good. Let me take it back. Like, are you hard on yourself?
Yeah, I normally like hate most things. I'll
Really?
like make it. Yeah, I'm like really, really critical. Like, and I want to re-record stuff like 100 times. Yeah, I'm pretty bad actually. Like my team has to always say like, Daniela, we're putting this out. Like they're like a week before a release. I'm like, no, I want to change the song.
Let me redo that vocal. Let me redo that vocal.
Yeah. No, but there's always a point you just have to let it go and be like, okay, it is what it is. It needs to kind of go out. And sometimes that's been my problem in the past. I've like dwelled on things too long and left it too long because I've been kind of like over analyzing things. I think nowadays, especially at the moment where we don't know what the hell is going on in the world, it's just like release music, not take it so seriously. It's supposed to be something for enjoyment, right? So definitely, yeah, I've got to try and be better at that.
I'm the same too. Like I hate hearing myself, and I gotta like edit these interviews, and I gotta hear my voice, and I'm like,
really?
Oh man,
I hate hearing myself speak as well. I always cringe. I was like, oh.
Me too. I'm like fast forwarding. I'm like, let me just edit this part. Like, God, bro, like let me change my voice, and then I never change it. Just,
yeah.
Just
I'm always like, it sounds so croaky, and I need to like speak more soft.
Now you sound great. You sound great. It is summer 2020. It's a new age. It's different. It's summer for us? Is it summer over there too in London or no? Like, is it different?
Yeah, it's summer here as well. Yeah, but I mean, it's nothing like LA. Do you know what I mean? It's not. It's not as sunny. It's decent for England. It's good. Okay. But you can't compare. If you came, you'd probably think, "What is this? It's probably winter."
I've heard a lot of people say that it's gloomy a lot of the times.
Yeah, it is. But to be fair, at the moment there's blue skies, so we're good.
That's good. So yeah, like I was saying, summer 2020 is here. It's a new age. It's different. 2020 is almost a wrap. So yeah, like you said you have new songs coming out. Anything else you got in the works for 2020 before the year ends?
I mean, I actually shot a video for the second song that will be coming out before quarantine when I was on a trip to Mexico. So that will be coming out as well, which I'm really, really excited about. But yeah, apart from that, it's just releasing music. I mean, obviously I'm restricted being in London and being away. There's no shows I can do and stuff, but it's just staying creative, collaborating with a lot of people still. I mean, as soon as the kind of studios get back to normal here in London, I'll be working with a lot of people here as well and getting into the studio. And as soon as I can get on a flight, I'm there.
You're going back to Miami.
I'm back to Miami, 100. I'm like dreaming of that moment.
Definitely. Hey, what's funny though, that you're from London and you like going to Miami. I'm from LA. I've never been to Miami yet.
What? You've got to go. It's the best. I literally love it so much.
Yeah. That's on my plans. So when
But you know what? You live in the sunshine, so I guess for you don't have that like craving for that. Whereas for me, like I mean, I love London to death, and I love being here. I love the whole scene here. But Miami is like the polar opposite. Even LA. So when I go away and get some sunshine, it feels, even though I'm working, it feels like I'm on vacation.
Nice.
So that's probably why.
Do you come out to LA sometimes or no? You make your way to LA?
I used to. So when I used to make a lot of music in English, I used to record a lot in LA and work from LA. But recently, the last couple of years since I've been going to Miami a lot, not as much, no. Okay. I want to. I do love LA. I've got a lot of friends out there.
Definitely. No, you got to come by. We got to show you what the Latin sings out here in LA. So, you can see the.
I would love that. I've heard it's like a different scene, but it's really cool. Yeah. A lot of the creators out there, right?
Yeah. So I mean, you could probably hear some things, get some ideas,
Yes.
Implement that in your music and stuff like that. So yeah, you got to make. Yeah,
I've got to do that. I would love that. I know. No. I'm pretty far away right now, like a 12-hour flight away.
Yeah, for sure. I that flight was crazy when I went to France. I couldn't believe it. But Daniela,
I'm never doing that again.
I'll do it again. Like I don't mind. I did Thailand. I did all that.
Oh wow, that's super fun.
Yes, that was like well, the whole trip was 22 hours because I had to like stop at China for a bit.
Yeah. I could not do 20 hours. I think I would just be so over it. I'd be like, I'm going home halfway.
It was insane.
I'm turning back.
It was insane. Wow. No, but Daniela Brooker, thank you for your time. I love chatting. The chat was amazing. I love chatting with you. I love meeting artists, new artists, and artists that are trying to push the envelope and create new things. Especially you in London, like you have a unique story, and I love that you're embracing your roots, even from like way on the other side of the pond.
I know, far away.
So I love that, and I want to say thank you for your time. And this is it. This is the check-in. That's Daniela Brooker.
Great.
Let them know where they can find you at.
Well, thank you so much. It's been great talking to you too. And everyone can find me on like all digital platforms, just Daniela Brooker, or on social media, it's just Brooker.
There you go. That's what it is. This
is
the check-in.
Or Brooker, as you say in an American accent.
Brooker.
I say Brooker.
Wait, how do you say it in a London accent?
Brooker.
Brooker.
Yeah,
okay.
Brooker. And someone American would say like Brooker.
Yeah,
I always have to say Brooker. So everyone else. Yeah,
I was saying Brooker.
Yeah, no, that's right.
Okay. Daniela Brooker.
Yeah, there you go. Your accent's like is just getting there.
We good. Thank you for your time. This is a check-in. We out.